I believe there's a reason you happen to be watching this show today. Maybe you're just curious, or perhaps you're one of the millions of people searching for more joy and meaning in their life. Maybe even an answer to the question, why am I here? If so, you're not alone. Listen to this. It's estimated 43.4 million Americans struggle with mental health problems annually. 9.6 million adults have serious suicidal thoughts. 1.8 million youth experience severe depression in 2017. And in the workplace, according to a recent Gallup poll, a staggering 87% of employees worldwide are not engaged. Those numbers suggest people of all ages are feeling overwhelmed and unfulfilled and searching for more, which have sparked movements like Live Your Legend, the Happiness Project, and the growing popularity in life coaching. Yale University even offers a course called Psychology and the Good Life that students refer to as the Happiness Course. Dr. Laurie Santos, the psychology professor teaching the course, says the message behind it is to help students figure out what it means to live happier, more satisfying lives, and teaching them strategies to achieve that goal. When Yale opened registration for the course, 25% of the undergraduate population signed up. That's 1,180 students, making it the most popular course in Yale's history. That's why I feel compelled to do these shows. I want to share my knowledge, extensive research, and inspiring stories of people who have found joy and fulfillment and are living their best life. I want you to know you can too. You have greatness inside you with everything you need to create the life you want. Maybe you won't believe that in the beginning, but hopefully in time, as you listen more and more, you will believe it. First, let me share how I got to this place. My name is Jean Matthews, also known as the Queen of Extreme Surgeon, because I want to open hearts and minds to new possibilities, though I am not a medical professional of any kind. God brought that name to mind back in the early 2000s when I did some business-related shows. It fits who I am and represents my extreme belief that anything is possible. On those shows, I shared what I learned from my research, training, and library of over 600 books and programs. I love learning, just like my dad did, so I guess it's in my genes. He was so knowledgeable on so many subjects, in spite of having a limited formal education, like many back in those days. He was always designing and building remote control planes or go-karts, working on a car, reviving some poor discounted neglected plants he purchased, or fixing something for someone else. He was known as Big Ed in our neighborhood because I also had a brother named Ed. So when they called, they'd ask for Big Ed or Little Ed. Both passed away many years ago, as did my mother and younger brother. Only my sister and I and our families are left. So I spent a lot of time in funeral homes thinking about what people would say about me at mine. I made a decision to work on my dash and make sure it stood for something my family could be proud to share at my funeral. The dash I'm talking about is that tiny little line on your tombstone between the day you were born and the day you died. That represents all the years in between. Anyway, while doing those shows years ago, I had a job with great pay, health benefits, vacation, 401k, and all that good stuff. I was also finishing up a 5th semester of a program where I was earning a certificate in human performance improvement at U of M Dearborn, and was looking forward to using all my newfound knowledge and becoming an agent for change in the business world. But as it often happens, life happened. I'm sure many of you watching can relate. I lost my job and the recession hit soon after. And like many of you, the direction of my life changed. Survival became number one. I found myself working 3 retail jobs and still not getting 40 hours, and trying to sell some of my jewelry to pay bills. Unfortunately, my shows became collateral damage and fell by the wayside. But you know, in spite of all that, I never lost that burning desire I felt inside to learn, share stories, and inspire others. It's just who I am. Over the past few years, though, my focus shifted away from business and toward people. Little did I know, those 5 semesters in human performance improvement training would be just the beginning. I wanted to learn all I could about what makes us do what we do as human beings, and why we make the decisions we make. I wanted to know what motivates and inspires the human spirit, and became fascinated with the brain and the mind and their impact on human behavior. And that brings me to the present. I'm now in my 70s, still nervous in front of the camera, with a few more wrinkles and pounds. I asked Matt, the station's manager, with the magic of video, can you do something about those things? His response was, well, we can turn off the lights. Though he was joking, it is what it is. What I want to share is far more important than appearances. I want to serve as an example that you can change and go forward and go after what you want, regardless of your age and circumstances. I want you to understand how valuable you are as a human being, that the God that created the universe made you unique, just like your fingerprints, and He planted seeds of greatness in your heart and mind, different from everyone else's. Do you understand the magnitude of that? That makes you one of a kind and a designer's original. And an original is always more valuable than a copy. Always. I found this magnet years ago, and it was just at the dollar store, I think, and it has just 8 little words. To teach is to touch a life forever. If I can get you to truly understand your uniqueness, and you share that information with others, think of how many lives we can change together forever. Another magnet I have says, what you are is God's gift to you. What you make of yourself is your gift to God. It's a choice. I'm choosing to invest my time in these extreme empowerment shows because I want to make an impact on the lives of others with the time I have left on this planet. I want these shows to encourage you, to give you hope, to nurture, water, and bring light to those seeds of greatness inside you, so they can grow into who you were born to be, so you can live your purpose. I believe that is where you will find fulfillment. What a tragedy it would be if you choose to do nothing with your seeds and rob the world of your purpose, talents, and gifts. A wonderful motivational speaker I just love is Les Brown. He was born on the floor of an abandoned building with his twin brother, then given up for adoption. But God planted the love for those baby boys in the heart of a single 39-year-old woman named Mamie Brown, who didn't just adopt them, but several other kids as well. Les said he was put in special education in school and was teased by other kids. They called him DT, the dumb twin. One day, a teacher heard kids calling him the dumb twin and told Les, someone's opinion of you doesn't have to become your reality. Let me repeat that. Someone's opinion of you doesn't have to become your reality. Those words changed his life. At one point, Les had an office in Detroit's Penobscot building. When he hit difficult times, he was sleeping on the floor of his office and bathing in the men's room. But he held on. He didn't give up. He kept moving forward toward his dream. Today, Les Brown is a world-renowned speaker, one of the best I have ever heard, with an infectious laugh. Back to my point. In one of his speeches, Les said, "The graveyard is the richest place on earth, because it is there you will find all the hopes and dreams that were never fulfilled, the books that were never written, the songs that were never sung, the inventions that were never shared, and the cures that were never discovered. All because someone was too afraid to take that first step." I hope God will gently bring that to mind every time we pass a cemetery. Not to make us feel bad, but to stir our hearts and inspire us, including me, to take action and make us acutely aware the clock is ticking on our lives. How many times have we said, "Someday I'm gonna"? Dr. Miles Monroe said, "There's something worse than death. It's living without a purpose." God said, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." The clock is ticking, folks. Do you know what your purpose is? What's that thing that when you do it, you lose track of all time because you're in that zone, loving what you're doing and probably good at it? God planted a purpose in each one of us, and He put it where we couldn't lose it, deep within our hearts and minds. I believe each of us are on this planet at this point and at this time because there's something we are destined to do. Something we each have to contribute to the world that no one else can. I don't care how old you are or what you've done. As long as you are still breathing, your story is still being written. Just make sure you're the one holding the pen. Otherwise, life, as it tends to do, will write it for you. And it may not have the happy ending you had hoped for. Your past is the past. Don't get stuck there. Find a way to move on. In future shows, I'll be giving you some suggestions on how you can do that. Remember, when you focus on the past, you are choosing it over a brighter future. It's within your control. It's not what happens to you that determines your future. It's the decision you make on how to respond to what happens to you. Eleanor Roosevelt said, "Nobody can make you feel inferior without your consent." Think about that. It's all about what you believe about yourself. Watch this.
Official leg on. Competed last year, made it to the third obstacle.
The one thing I love about Artis Thompson III is he makes no excuse.
Well, lost that left leg on a motorcycle accident, and he's back riding a motorcycle already.
There's nothing that's going to stop Artis Thompson. He is determined.
Well, think about how difficult this is, jumping 5 feet to those...
Jessica Cox was born without arms due to a rare non-genetic birth defect. But this hasn't held her back from driving a car, gaining a black belt in Taekwondo, playing the piano, scuba diving, and becoming the world's first licensed armless pilot.
Just the way you are.
Unique is the only word to describe Nick Vujicic and his head-over-heels approach to life.
I believe anything is possible. And those in these video clips believed it too. They certainly prove the human spirit can overcome anything. Regardless of their circumstances, none of them believed they had limitations. They believed they were unstoppable, so they became unstoppable. And you can too. Let me ask you, are you just going through life, or are you growing through it? My plan is to learn and share everything I know to inspire others so I can die empty. What about you? If you want to learn and grow, then let's do it together. Why not make an appointment to come back to this show where I hope to inject you with inspiration to make positive changes and move toward your greatness. And whatever you learn, to God be the glory, because He gave me the knowledge and passion to share this information, and He gave each one of us the power to do far more than we ever thought possible. The Bible says you can be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So here's my prescription for this first visit. Start listening to positive, motivating speeches and videos. Take time to dream and imagine in detail what you would be doing that would give you a sense of purpose and fulfillment if money wasn't an issue. Hold that image in your mind and tell yourself 5 to 10 times a day, it's possible. In the meantime, please be patient. Though I love doing this, it does take time, and I'm still working. I'm also researching new ideas from subject matter experts to share with you. While you're waiting, please consider dropping us a note of encouragement so we know you're watching, and tell others about the show so we can change lives together. Until our next appointment, this is Big Ed's daughter, Jean, the Queen of Extreme Surgeon, saying you are one of a kind with everything you need to be extraordinary. So rise up, dream big, aim high, and be all you were destined to be.